going on YouTube? My name's Abe, and I am back with episode 3 of becoming a Windows Power user in our overall series going from no IT experience to a professional, full-blown cybersecurity analyst or position holder of some type of cyber title. This is more related to help desk stuff at the beginning, but you need to have this foundational knowledge to be able to do these higher level and higher skilled IT jobs. So if you want to know of any of these commands or any of the information you saw in this video, check out the description and subscribe. It'd be greatly appreciated. I work hard to make these videos. I'm truly trying to create a free series that gets you from knowing nothing to truly job ready with useful skills. So I have notes over to the side. If you see me looking over, it's to make sure I cover everything that I want to talk about in this video. So Windows updates is the first things that we're going to go over. It is so important when you're on help desk to understand how to update a person's computer, especially if you're like an IT help desk technician where you're actually going to their computer. You need to know how to get there smoothly. So one of the shortcuts we went over in one of our last videos is Windows I. So if you click Windows I, it takes you to a settings menu, and under your settings menu, you obviously have an assortment of stuff, but we're concerned with update and security right now. So, excuse me, you can see that we actually have a security update due. So you can go ahead and install this for your person and, get their computer up to date. Maybe your company's requirement or, hey, this last version has a virus or a malware issue. Everyone is now required to update to 20H2. Normally, at a bigger company, you're going to have some way through Active Directory to push all these updates to the devices. But if you're at a smaller company or you're trying to walk someone through on a one-off and you're talking to them over the phone, you need to know how to get there. This is that place. You can also pause updates, change your active hours, so it'll only update after the active hours, and so someone's not in the middle of doing something, so on and so forth. Another really important one that you will probably use quite often, let me make this a big screen, that you'll use quite often is attaching a network drive. A lot of teams and companies will work together on a shared file or a network drive. So we're going to click Control E, and I'm going to show you 2 steps: how to make a shareable file drive on your own computer, and another one of how to attach one to your computer. So let's go to this PC. We're going to go to our local drive, and we're going to create a new folder, and we'll click Shared Network Drive, right? So after you have a file that you want to share with people on your network, you're going to right click on it, Properties, and you're going to go over to Sharing. And then under here, you can share this file. So in this case, since this is a virtual machine, this is the only person on the network. But if you would want to, traditionally, you could add a name or you could assign it and share it to everyone on this network. And then everyone can see it, and there it is. So when you're done and you want to share this drive with someone, you're going to copy this link and message it to them. And that will allow them access to this drive. So now on the contrary, if someone sends you that link, how do you add a network drive to your computer? So in this case, we're going to click over the network portion, and we're going to click Map a Network Drive. You can also do that over this as well, over your PC. So wherever you want to add them, you can. I attach mine over the network. So you map a network drive, and you can pick any letter that's not used. If one of these is being used, it'll say like next to it. In this case, you can see the letter C is not on there because Windows uses the drive letter C. So we'll stick with Z, and in this case, you would input it just like this and reconnect it, sign in, you want to leave on. So this will allow every time the computer reboots, it'll be over here ready to use. So in this case, oh, it did let us attach it even though we're the one hosting this drive. So here it is right here. There you go. So we can actually see it right here. So yeah, and then you would be able to see this drive right here, click on it, and use this network drive. So another one that we want to go over that's actually a little bit familiar to me, but I thought it was really cool, was this right here. We're going to delete this one. So what you're going to do is right click on your, I should first say what this is. This is a GodMode folder. So this folder allows us to do administrative work really fast and really effectively as a power user on Windows. So once again, right click on your display, hover over new, make a new folder, and in this folder, you're going to type, did it get it? I don't think it got it all. Oh, it did. Okay. So this will be in the description. Once again, this little piece of code, but this creates a GodMode folder, which is kind of like an administrative folder. And when you right click on this folder, there's a lot of really useful tools in here. So we can create and format a hard disk partition for an individual. So we can go in here and we can format our drive and make smaller partitions or check a drive or whatever, right? We can defragment a drive, maybe if it's having issues or it's running slow. We can edit group policy. If you're an administrator, you'd be able to see things in here. Stay tuned. We're going to go over Active Directory administration down the road. And we're going to free up disk space, blah, blah, blah. What's another good one on here? You can add a device or a printer really quickly. This way, it looks like it's searching for devices. It's not going to find anything because we're in a virtual machine. You can change your font settings in here if that interests you, or add fonts. You can also do that in here. So in my case, I add a lot of fonts for like editing or thumbnails. You could go in here, download a font off of Google and drag it in here really quickly, then like hopping through the Windows folders. Once again, you can delete browsing history from here, change security settings, set up and connect to new networks, virtual VPN connections, add and remove programs is in here. There's tons of useful stuff in here that you'll learn about over the years, right? Firewall settings, so on and so forth. The GodMode folder is pretty awesome. Let's see here, customize. Okay, so another thing we can do, we're going to do Windows key, command prompt, open command prompt. Maybe you don't like the black and white, or maybe two colors or contrast looks better, makes it easier for you to read, or you just want to customize this. Just depends. Some people like dark mode because it allows them to read easier. Some people like light mode for the same reason. So we can actually click properties, and if you wanted to edit your command prompt, you can easily make the text bigger to read. You can change the font, and you can even change the color. So like screen text, then you can pick the color over here or give it the RGB numbers. Your screen background, so we could do like a red background with green text. We'll leave it at that, right? Why didn't that change? Interesting. Let's see here. Okay. I wonder, let's try this. Okay, we had to restart it. So, I don't know, sometimes I've seen it do both, but there you go. Obviously that's hard to read and that's ugly, but it's just something that you could do if you choose to. Okay, now this one I think is really cool and really important. So have you ever needed to create a step-by-step guide for somebody or something? Like for instance, maybe you have a local knowledge share drive with your company where you guys create tutorials or step-by-step guides to help other people that run into the same issue. Now, this is extremely helpful and common on help desk, where help desk will have some type of database that you can go into, search up that person's issues or what issues you found on their computer and see what other help desk technicians have done to solve that similar issue and try those and see if it also solves the person's issues that you're currently working with. So, in my case, I do a lot of screenshot tutorials for YouTube stuff, personal project stuff, work stuff, right? So normally you would go down here and be like, oh, snipping tool. I'm going to snip this step right here, and then I'm going to save this file, and then I'm going to name it. I'm going to name it step 1. Wow, of my, dude, this thing is killing, of YouTube video, right? And then let's say I want to go do another thing. So I click over here and I do a couple other steps. Well, this isn't ready. I got to click new again, and then I got to snip it, blah, blah, blah. It's just a lot of steps to get a screenshot, right? So what we can actually do is two things. So the first thing that we can do is instead of using the snip tool, we can use Shift Windows key S. So if we do Shift Windows key S, it takes or it pops up this little menu. So this little menu allows you to draw a shape. So this will do just what snip does, rectangular. We can make an odd freeform. We can click a window snip or a full screen snip. So like, you know, this is a window snip right here, right? This is a drag and drop snip, so on and so forth, right? And, you know, this could be a whole window snip. So it gives you some really quick options to do those. And then those are kept in pictures and screenshots. Why is this interesting? Hold on. It did this to me actually earlier. Let's see if these... So it looks like it's going to save it by default in the pictures folder if you go that route and hurry and save it. And then I think I have these backwards. And then the other one is Windows print screen. Okay, so I had those backwards. So in this case, if we do Windows Shift S, we create a screenshot, snip and save to clipboard, select here to share the image. So I guess it saves it to our clipboard, which is again Windows V. So you could technically go from here real quick, drag and drop them into wherever you want, or you can click on it once it pops up and hurry and save it. So a little bit of an easier way to do it. And then the way that I was going to show you is if you do Windows key print screen. So there's like a dedicated keyboard button that's usually above your arrow keys if you're on a fully extended keyboard with a numpad, right? So I can click Windows key print screen and it creates a flash. So you know you took your screenshot. So you'd go to pictures and then you would go to your screenshots folder and it would be right here. So sorry, got those two a little bit mixed up in my brain, but that is like the fastest way to take screenshot after screenshot if you want the whole screen and for it to not be as specific as the other one. And then Explore options. So when you're within Explorer, sometimes you need to see like full file paths. Sometimes you need to see the extension. So you can see in our example here, we don't have any extensions on these files, but maybe for like security reasons, your company doesn't want you to have executable files on a specific network, or maybe a SCADA network, like at a mine or a power plant, right? Where your job as a cybersecurity person is to ensure that that doesn't happen, right? Because you don't want some executive file being a piece of malware, and then that can lead to further cybersecurity issues because then it could run itself on the computer and infect the network. So what you can actually do is go over here to View, and if you wanted to make these different icons real quick, you can. So there's a couple ways to lay out your stuff, but we're going to click Options and we're going to go over to View, and you can see that we can hide extensions for known file types, but we want to see all the file types. So we're going to click Apply and go OK, and we can see .txt files now, .png files, so on and so forth. And like this is another good one too, because like JPEG and PNG do slightly different things. PNG, if I'm recalling correctly, doesn't allow for a transparent background, but JPEG does. So if you need a JPEG file to edit something with a translucent or transparent background and drag and edit it on top of something else, you would need to know what the file type of the image is. So that's another example of what would be useful for that as well. And then last, real quick, this is like our 8th thing, I believe. If let's say there's two things. One, you have a help desk person where their computer audio is playing out of their monitor speakers, and since you work in an office environment, you need it to play out of their headphones. For some reason, they don't know how to come down here and change it. Normally, you would just click right here and you could switch it, but another option you can do is right click, open sound settings, and then you can change whatever option speakers are plugged into the computer at the time and whatever microphone is plugged in at the time. So sometimes there can be troubleshooting issues. You can get in here, you can manage sound devices. I know sometimes with like Discord or certain applications, or maybe like Teams, if your company uses that to communicate, it could have the wrong speaker applied every time you reboot the computer. So you could go in here, right click on a device if there's multiple, or I guess in this case, disable those. So you disable all the ones you don't want the computer to pick up on and just use the one you selected. I see that happen all the time as well. So there was a couple more advanced management options within this video. If there's anything else you guys would like to see, or if you found anything useful, I would love a like and a comment. That really helps the channel grow more than anything. My name's Abe. Stay tuned as we get into Windows administration of Active Directory from here on out in our series, and then on to more advanced techniques.